Well, I've tried to be a better YouTuber than others. And again, for this channel, I mainly cover horror on TV, movies. I even do a lot of novels because I know a lot of Stephen King stuff. So watch out, guys. I'll be putting up a lot of other content, including the Buffy stuff. But I do other things, and I have many other tastes. And one of my favorite shows, because I grew up with this, was G.I. Joe. And what they've done in the adaptations has been pretty sad. So the last movie they did was just terrible. It is quite literally one of the worst films I've ever seen. It was so ridiculously bad. I don't understand this. Like, I don't get it. Like, there were so many good cartoon episodes. It's just adapt the cartoon. It's just so easy. But the casting, the movies themselves, the ideas, the plots, they're just so weak. So are these terrible films? No, but they're really below average. I mean, basically, it's like Scream 7, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. It just doesn't ever go beyond few good flashy action scenes, some nice swordplay by Ray Park, who did Snake Eyes. He's like the one shining bright light. That's about it. Everything else is just very like, who cares? We've done this a million times. And again, talented people, good looking people. Like they got Dwayne The Rock, who's very muscular, very powerful, tough. They had Bruce Willis. They even brought in Samara Weaving. And, I like Samara, but she looks beautiful. She looks stunning. She's not Scarlet. Like, they just never quite get it right. And again, talented. I like these people, like Channing Tatum, but they're not right for G.I. Joe. Like the Wayans, like they get a good cast, but they're not G.I. Joe. So it's like they just keep moving too far away from the comics, too far away from the cartoon. And visually, they just don't look that interesting. So it's it's going to get worse, apparently. So they're finally going to give it another shot and revive G.I. Joe. And this is where the horror angle, and I really don't want to make this video. I'm getting a headache. I am getting such a headache. And I'm going to focus mainly on Danny because the Max guy, I have no hope in that guy. That guy is a complete clown. He's a complete moron. Listen, guys, I want to work in Hollywood. I want to be a genuine professional. So it's not in my self-interest, but this guy is literally the worst. So this guy has Me Too scandals. He's a Nepo baby. So literally, he was just given wealth and power for no reason. He's not talented. He's not a good writer. And by the way, I'm a writer. I write everything. Short stories, novels, screenplay. Oh my God, this guy's annoying. He's just not talented. So the Max guy, I'm not even... Right there, don't hire that guy. If you're hiring him, I have no confidence. So that's bad enough. So just, if you put him on there, I don't want to see this thing. Okay, so now they're adding Danny. And I'm not going to do the full deep dive on the Halloween trilogy or his role in Exorcist Believer. And this is how bad they are. Of these 4 films, the 3 Halloweens and Believer, if I had to chart it out and be totally brutally honest and look at the good stuff, I would say Believer was the best film. And Believer was really bad. It was really bad. And these are things I love. I love The Exorcist. And now I'm more of a Halloween addict, but I know The Exorcist mythology. And granted, the sequels with The Exorcist are super goofy and all of those. And I made the mistake of watching one of those weirdo prequel sequels with Stellan Skarsgård. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's like unbelievable. Like, it cannot, oh my God. So right away, the Mike Flanagan film that's going to come out, that will automatically be the best Exorcist of the last 35 years. Because it can't be any worse. It can't. It can't. And Believer was, below average. That's Danny at his best, is below average. But I would grant, of all the Halloween films, if I had to pick one, the first one is at least bearable. It's still stupid, but it did have some good scenes. I do think the physical actor who did Michael, and they actually had classical Michael, they had both actors. was really good. And David Gordon Green he has a lot of flaws, but they are very beautiful looking films. So the look of the films is amazing. But, I mean, aside from the retcons, the plot contradictions, the mythology makes no sense. It's like, if I had to sum up in one sentence, what is his problem? He thinks he's Quentin Tarantino. And by the way, I played with this style too. I'll be totally honest. In my screenplays, I play with this style. So the Quentin effect is this. You do something really terrible, horrifying, super bloody, and then you add a lot of humor. Right? And it's very similar to Joss Whedon, but it's different. So for one thing, and by the way, that's fine. Writers borrow and steal all the time from one another. But they can't stop themselves. Like, there are so many jokes in Halloween 2018. One, they're not funny. And he's a comedian. So it was shockingly not funny. So, and I was like, that was a joke? Because that's how much I don't like these films. I'm like, you know what? Let me be nice. I'm going to see them all again. Even the second viewing, they were worse. Because like, oh, those were jokes? Yeah, that was meant as a joke. Who is writing these jokes? They're really bad jokes. So his comedic style is just not that good. And by the way, if you think I'm just a hater, no, Pineapple Express, which they did together, David and Danny, is good. That's a really good comedy. It is not for everyone. It's a stoner comedy. So they can be good. But Pineapple is a really weird fantasy film. And granted, G.I. Joe is also kind of fantasy. So is Michael. So is Believer. But you got to be careful. So his track record is not good. Like his actual scripts, or when he does the story, again, he doesn't have full control. Like David is his friend. They're personal friends. They've worked together on films. So the only good news here is that David Gordon Green is not directing. Right? And if you think I'm just a hater, no, there are good things about the Halloween trilogy, but there are way too many bad things. And aside from the relentless jokes, it just didn't even add up. Like in the 2018, Michael is just a hardcore killer. He's totally mysterious. Okay, fine. They're going down that way. And they add more things to the backstory, which were actually good and interesting. And then they just mess it up. With Halloween Kills, he's, for no reason, obsessed with his mask. Why? Don't know. And they're doing this weird Black Lives Matter, violence in America, political, right? Evil dies tonight. And I'm like, okay. And Laurie literally is not doing anything. She's just in the hospital, waiting, while Michael just goes full psychopath. And Laurie can't do anything for reasons. And then we get to Halloween Ends, where she has mythical ghost teleportation powers and has a big struggle, not with Michael, but with Corey, who did not exist in the first two films. And Michael, I'm not kidding with you, not spoiling the film, is spending time in the sewers, eating rats. So it's just like, oh my God, do I want to see Cobra Commander in the sewers eating rats? No, I don't want to see that. That's not a good idea. That's the brilliance of Danny. But the guy's not a hack. He is a talented writer, but he's given projects that are not using his talents properly. It seems like that's what he's made for. He's made for doing really goofy, silly, outrageous comedies. But when he tries to bring that style anywhere else to horror classics, what's the point? It doesn't. I understand what he's trying to do. I'm the new Quentin Tarantino. I'm going to mix the horror. I'm going to mix comedies. It's going to work, buddy. And no. And that's why Believer is the best film he's ever done, because they got the message and stopped joking all the time, which I appreciate. So I'm going to give it a pretty good score. When people ask me, I'm not going to give it like a 0 out of 10. I do think they moderated. That's good. Oh, don't worry. They still have stupid jokes, but they cut it down, which I appreciate. But beyond that, it's like just negative. It's just, he constrains his stupid jokes. He constrains just being stupid and ridiculous. He doesn't try to be like Quentin Tarantino all the time. That's basically when he's got a good writing style. So if they're just going to do a stupid, goofy G.I. Joe with a lot of woke nonsense for no reason, I just have characters act wildly out of character for lame jokes. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So at this point, I have zero interest. But I will do updates. But they got to give me something to give me hope that this will not be a complete joke. And the Danny's track record and Max's track. I'm not even getting to Max. I'll just do a whole video on his stupidity. Oh my lord! It's like there's that saying, "Failing upwards." I'm like, but at least Danny had a hit film. 2018 was a massive hit. Why Max? The guy's a moron. It's like, no, please, God, no, don't do this. Please don't do this.